Ciso. Oh, it's fabulous! A strike to get you up off your seats.
Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social, the Fulham vs Brighton match preview. I'm joined by Maz, as per usual, and Jack is back. Jobless Jack is back from his trip in Barcelona, fresh off the plane. I love that. In our recent podcast, Jack, I don't know if you saw the comments, but someone was like, "Where's Jobless Jack? He can't be doing anything," or something like that, because obviously Adam filled in for you. But Jack, how was Barcelona?
Yeah, lovely. I thought it was quite apt that I managed to travel all the way to Barcelona to watch Barcelona at home just to see them lose 2-1 to a team containing Ollie McBurney and Scott McKenna, with the winner scored by that useless Wolves striker Fabio Silva. But yeah, it was a it was a nice trip. Went to a few non-league games out there, which I think was the highlight, really.
Seems Barcelona, but non-league games was
yeah. Four games in 2 days. Grounds 286, 287, 288, and 289. So get them all ticked off. So
a job.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Poor effort.
And 290 tomorrow. So yeah, East Grinstead Town. I'm coming for you.
Wow. Oh, we've got a celebrity at East Grinstead Town tomorrow. You guys are in luck. Maz, how have you been since we last spoke? Obviously, after a poor result against Southampton. Are we feeling any better after that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're second in the league, boys. Yeah, it could be not second. Sorry, we're fourth.
No, we're not. We're not anymore. Yeah,
we're not anymore. We're second. We were second for a brief moment, but yeah, we're fourth in the league, Ben. You know, it could be way worse. Disappointing result against Southampton, but we can make amends against Fulham. I know we haven't beaten them in the Premier League, which is not a good omen. However, you know, there's no reason why we can't go into that full of confidence.
Yes, records are there to be broken, aren't they? Oh no, I'm good, mate. Had a bit of a Sunday Funday yesterday. Not working today, luckily, so it's all good, mate. All good. Watch City versus Liverpool. That's fun to see Pep have another meltdown. Life's good at the moment. City are crumbling, and so there's not a lot to complain about. And Brighton are in fourth place, looking to go even higher. But like you said, haven't beaten Fulham in the Premier League, which is insane. I feel like this record is what West Ham had against us before they broke that duck last year. 8 games is something special. And then we spoke off air. The last time we did beat them was at the Cottage, when Dunk famously in that red kit got the winner right straight from kickoff. Incredible scenes, obviously, and hopefully there'll be more scenes on Thursday night.
Do you know, it's funny, like, this record, because I remember there's a bit of reminiscing, bit of trip down memory lane. Who remembers? Peter Kay's in the room with us. But the reason that I think we've never beaten Fulham in the Premier League is obviously it isn't a real footballing reason. It's karma, because the last year last year in the Championship we did the double over them, and we were dire in both those games. Like we were brilliant that season, but I do remember, like, in both the home and away game, Fulham definitely deserved to win the game. So I feel like it's you know, we did a deal with the devil. You can beat Fulham twice, but you will never beat them, and you'll never beat them again. So yeah, I think that's. And they seem to just turn up against us, like, especially at home. Like they've had some really good performances over the last few years. I remember being 2-0 up at half time and it was snowing, and losing 4-2. That was a particularly bad one. There's been some bad ones up there across the years.
Even at the Cottage, I feel like, was it under Potter? We were doing phenomenal. Like, I was like, this is a guaranteed win here.
Yeah.
I think he had the same with De Zerbi in that orangey red kit. I thought we were banging for me. And I think, or maybe that was during our tough spell in Europe. I can't remember. Let me quickly check the date where that would have been.
When they drew 1-1 at home with us, I think it might have been like the week after the game after we played someone away. So I think.
Yeah, and then obviously the last time we played them at the Cottage was 3-0. I was there. That was horrendous. And, you know, they've been doing pretty well, apart from losing 4-1 randomly against Wolves. That was a pretty mad result, which makes our draw with Wolves at home look a little bit better. But they've been a very, very good team. They had such a incredible start to the season. Some very good players. Maz, what are your thoughts going into this one? Because obviously their latest game was 1-1 against Tottenham, who are quite similar to us now. You know, we beat their big teams and get shit results against the teams we're expected to beat. And Tottenham done the exact same thing. They drew 1-1 at home to Fulham. Kearney with a great goal, and he got sent off, and he was a substitute as well. So was an incredible little cameo from him. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Thursday?
Yeah, look, as we've just discussed, it's always going to be a difficult game, especially away to Fulham. It's going to be a tough one. It's not going to be easy at all. But the way we played the season, it does fill me with confidence that we can get a result. However, I think they've made some good signings this season. Emile Smith-Rowe being one of them. I think he's looked really, really good, back to his best when he was we all saw how good of a talent he was at Arsenal. But he now is doing it for Fulham, and they've got Iwobi as well going forward. They've got some good attacking players. Going forward, I think they're a massive threat. And then at the back as well, they're pretty solid as well. So it's going to be a tough one. But I think the way we've played this season, there's no reason why we can't get a result. But they are playing well. Marcus Silva's got them a difficult outfit to beat as well.
Yeah, that's true. And Jack?
Yeah. Sorry for laughing there. Like this won't come across on the podcast.
Yeah.
But sometimes Maz's internet, when he talks, I just can't. It like lags out. Like you'll hear it as normal. I just couldn't hear a word of half of that. So I might just
heard
repeat.
Arsenal player.
Yeah,
and
Arsenal player.
He must be talking about Smith-Rowe or Iwobi.
Yeah, one of those.
Or
two.
Nelson. Actually.
Or Nelson. Yeah. No, I think from what I got from Maz, I do think similar. I think they've done really well this season, but they've just been very inconsistent. I think they're suffering a little bit like us. Like they've pulled some really good results out of the bag. And they look like a good side, but they just seem to, they have the odd moment of madness against the lower side, and that's probably why they're slightly below us. I still think they're a good side. You've got great talents in there like Emile Smith-Rowe, and they just seem to be enhancing their team every season. Slowly and surely, they're sort of building their way up to a very good side. And I think, when they first came up, when was that? That was 2 seasons ago now. I think everybody sort of made a joke like, oh, Fulham are back, they'll be here for about 20 minutes and then they'll disappear again. And I do think they've done really well by keeping Silva despite interest, admittedly, from Saudi Arabia rather than somewhere which would further his career. For him, like they've been building up a really good team. So I think this is going to be quite a tricky one. We always seem to play them on a from my memory, I can remember playing them on a midweek so often. I think I've got one happy memory from doing that. It's an interesting game to go into, and hopefully we can bounce back. It's not really bouncing back because I don't know, maybe I was alone and I didn't speak after the Southampton game, but I think I put it on Twitter on my match friend, and I just said, if you didn't see that coming, you must be blind. This is just normal procedure, and I do think that we will get some not perfect results. I think a lot of people maybe hyped up the whole, we're going to get 21 points out of 21 points. Teams that win the league do that. We're good. Look, I'm not saying we can't win the league, but it's going to be a hard ask to get 21 out of 21.
You're not saying we can't win the league?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not saying like ever. I just said I don't think that we're not that guy. We're not that guy.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's true. Like I always say, imagine if we had those points, but it would just be even more ridiculous if we did have like 6 more points to our name at this point in the season. Sorry, a little bit of technical difficulties there with Maz's microphone. Jack. And Jack's touchscreen as well. But we are back. I wanted to talk about Marco Silva. He's definitely one of the best managers in the league, in my opinion. I think we had a really, really good time at Everton, I'm pretty sure. And obviously what he's doing at Fulham is incredible because everyone thought there would remain a yo-yo club, like you kind of touched on, Jack. But I feel like he's in that De Zerbi bracket where he's really, really good, but also not good enough for any of the big six, maybe Tottenham, the big five, top to actually take a punt on them, isn't he? He's stuck in that league, really, isn't he? I can't see him ever achieving a job at getting a Chelsea or a Man United or anything like that.
He'd have to do something remarkable for him to get a job there. And I think what he's done so far is impressive, for sure. I just wouldn't say it's remarkable. If he carries it on and he sort of gets them consistent, then it will be a remarkable job. But he's still got something to prove, I do feel. I also feel like he's been around and been a little bit of a failure at places as well.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
It didn't end well at Everton, did it? I don't think.
It didn't end well at Everton. Didn't end well at Watford before he went to Everton.
And Hull, he was decent, but he was not great. Yeah,
I think Hull.
Go on.
Oh, no, sorry. No, I was going to say Hull's team was so crap that year. The fact that he even managed to keep them within like a hair's breadth of staying up is an impressive job.
I can't believe he was even at Hull City. That's mental. That's so long ago. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, but Ben, I'll be real. I disagree. I don't think he's that good of a manager. I think he's done a very good job at Fulham. Like this season, he's been brilliant. But I don't think he's a very good manager. Look, if you go by so I've got his stats here for his 3 previous jobs prior to Fulham. At Hull City, he won 8 out of 22 games. At Watford, 8 out of 26 with a 36% win rate and a 30% win rate. And then at Everton, he had a 40% win rate, 24 games, 1 out of 60. And then now he's doing pretty well at Fulham. I'll give him that, 44% win rate. But I think, prior to Fulham, I didn't really rate him. I genuinely thought he was a pretty shit manager. But
really,
at Fulham, I think he's redeemed himself quite a bit. And I feel like he's done very well. Olympiacos, before he came to England, he was brilliant. Like, he's touted as one of, the best managers. But Olympiacos, respectfully, is the Greek league. And anyone can really do a job in Greece. I reckon Jack Albion could be the manager of Olympiacos and win the league there. So, I personally don't... I personally don't rate him as highly as other people do, but respect where respect is due. I think he's done a brilliant job at Fulham, especially in the Championship and then now in the Premier League as well. So respect to him, and he's doing very well. So they just got to ride the wave, I suppose, until it all goes to shit again.
He's a bit of a bastard as well. Like, look, I'm not here to judge managers being a bit of a bastard, because I think everybody probably thought De Zerbi was a bit of a bastard, but. On the touchline,
he was our bastard, Jack. He was our
bastard, and I'm sure Fulham fans think the same. But I do remember him on the touchline. He's screaming at players, and I mean, there was that whole meltdown at Old Trafford, wasn't there, a few years ago with Mitrovic, where Mitrovic pushed the ref, and then Silva lost his head, and look, that's a way of doing it. My mate who sits near the dugout actually said the worst behaved team with the dugout or all that sort of stuff is by far and away Fulham, which is quite an interesting.
Wow.
Like they swear the most to do all that. Not that it doesn't bother me that much. I think every manager can be a bastard when they want to be.
I feel like Herzler's kind of slowly, because we were told that he had a little bit of a reputation by fans that he would pick up the odd yellow card. But what is this? Was that his 3rd yellow card of the season? I'm pretty sure what he picked up against Southampton.
Yeah, and I do actually strangely think he's being a little bit harshly done by. I've seen a lot of other managers act a lot worse. I think one of the clear things with the biggest top 6 bias, and then it sounds a bit strange.
Never heard of it.
But I always thought that the top 6 managers would never ever get booked. Klopp and Pep so rarely got booked, despite their behaviour being like far, far worse than anyone else. Like Herzler, I thought, I think the cards that he's got, he really hasn't deserved it, to be honest.
Well, I think the one he got against Southampton was because of when it was Flynn Downs not getting his red card, and that's when I think he went a bit crazy at the 4th official or whatever it was, not being booked. And so I agree with you, Jack. I think
it was funny enough. I think it was the Walker Peters thing, because it took him so long to book Walker Peters that Fabian was obviously like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, that's it. He hesitated, didn't he? Yeah, that was the one. But no, you're right, Jack. I think that was harsh. That to get yellow carded for basically doing what a Pep or a Klopp back in the day would have done. Yeah, he's getting booked for that. But I remember, was it Dougie Critchley who shout out to him? He's a mad stat man, loves his European football, and he said to me, he was like, do you know Herzler's reputation? It's pretty bad. And I was like, I never knew that. No. So apparently he's known for his for his protesting and being quite irate on the touchline. But I like that. I think it's very similar to Zerbi in the sense of it's that passion. It comes from a wanting to be the best, wanting to win. So I don't think it's a bad thing at all, and I quite like it. So hopefully we see a bit of sparks. I don't know if he's not suspended, is he, Herzler?
Yeah, he's in the stands. I'm pretty sure is what they're saying.
So
we're not going to see Silva versus Herzler on the touchline, sadly.
We'll get Jonas Schuurman, the assistant manager, who I did not say anything to him because it was 6 a.m. But when I flew to Barcelona, he was walking through the airport in front of me.
Oh, he's scouting, is he?
Yeah,
he's scouting. I think he was and Barca.
Fabio Silva on his way.
No, he wasn't going to Barcelona. I think he was off to the Munich flight. Before mine, and some people say I look a little bit like him.
Yeah, you do.
Ginger beard, bald head. It's a look, isn't it? But he seems like I listened to the club podcast with him, and he was really good. I think he went into the Grand Central. It sounds like he went to the Grand Central to watch a Friday night Bundesliga game, which is it was either the Grand Central or the Caxton. It was one of those. And if he spent a couple of hours in Grand Central, he'd see the whole world of Brighton go past in about 2 minutes. What he should have done is gone in the Bell next door. That would have been way more exciting.
The Bell, what a gaff,
mate.
Yeah,
walking in. Well, who was it we beat? Jake Cooper, Maz, the lad that we got the flight with to Marseille that time. He got a picture with Fabian at one of the pubs after. Which game was it? Oh, I can't remember. It must have been after Spurs, maybe. Was it after the Spurs game? They went to the pub. I think Fabian was there and a few of the coaches were there as well. Like literally, it was one of the ones like just by the station. So I love the fact that they're getting these big results. No, it was after City. Sorry, it was after the City game, and they all went to the pub afterwards with the Brighton fans. Look,
if the club wants to make content, I will take Fabian on a pub tour of Brighton. I will do
stick a GoPro on Jack.
Or look, then need to be club contact. Fabian, if you're listening, come on a pub tour with me. I'll show you all the good ones. I'll show you all the decent places. I'll bring you with. I'll bring a camera real ale guide with me. We can have a good time.
You wouldn't see Marco Silva, Marco Silva doing that, would you?
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. So yeah.
All right. Let's get back to the game then. Jack, did I ask you what players like you were threatened by in Fulham?
Yeah. Said Smith Rowe, I think.
Oh, you already have done that then. Brilliant, fantastic.
Yeah. Not Tom Kearney anymore because he got sent off. Yeah. Pretty shocking challenge, but I don't think there's it's a bad challenge. It looks bad, but I don't think he's meant it.
No, I think it was completely accidental. But talking of players that I'm threatened by, I think even Raul Jimenez, he's starting to come back a little bit. I know obviously he had that horrible head injury. And a lot of people wrote him off. They thought it was the end of Raul Jimenez and he's not going to come back and do anything in the Premier League. But he's come back. I think he scored 5 goals this season, potentially. I need to double check that. But he scored a fair few. Emil Smith Rowe, I think he's a player. Do you know what he reminds me of? Do you know when I was watching Diblin against us, who was, by the way, shout out to Diblin, he was fantastic. He gives me Emil Smith Rowe vibes. Do you know what I mean? Like that ball carrier who's able to glide past defenders, make it look quite easy. So I think, if Emil Smith Rowe's on top of his game, he can really cause us a lot of problems. Iwobi's been playing really well. I just think that the attacking players they've got, it can cause us a lot of trouble. So
that R9 fella, didn't they? Rodrigo Muniz.
What happened to him?
He had that really, really good spell where he literally
that purple
looked like R9, but he's kind of like fallen off a little bit now.
He's a little bit of a cult hero, isn't he?
Yeah.
Rodrigo Muniz. He just had that one amazing spell. I remember there was some guy this is going back a few years, who played for Reading. I think he scored something like 18 goals before January, and everybody was like, "This guy's going to be unreal." Went to Derby and didn't score for the. Something Blackman. He's got a weird career.
Though,
not Jamal, maybe Andre Blackman, I think. Anyway, he plays in Israel now, if you wondered. He plays for Maccabi, or he did play for Maccabi Tel Aviv recently. Just cause, the reason I found it out was when they played Ajax the other day. I was looking through their squad. Anyway, off topic again. So we just
Well, it's weird. I do ask about the strikers because when we saw that Evan Ferguson was that he was linked with a loan away, and Fulham were one of the clubs that he's linked with, which makes me think, are they that confident in having Raul Jimenez leading the line that consistently, and especially Muniz as well? Maybe his form's obviously fallen off a cliff.
Yeah. They've also got another player who always scares me, but has probably been out of sorts, and Fulham fans are probably going to go, "Oh, you've been shit recently," so it doesn't actually matter. But also, an oiled up Adama Traore always terrifies me. Especially if they got all that oil dripping off his arms. He's quick,
slippery opponent.
He always scares the shit out of me, basically. I remember him having a game against Dan Burn where Dan Burn was left in his wake. He was rolling all over the floor. He was absolutely murdered, Dan Burn. And he's a close personal friend of mine because I got a superimposed picture last time I went to Barcelona with Adama Traore.
Oh, God, I forgot about that.
Every transfer window I would go, Brighton are interested in Adama Traore. He's just told me.
I did just quickly want to bring up as well, I think it'll be really interesting to see how our wingers do against Robinson and Tete as well, because I feel like Robinson's a very underrated fullback. I feel like he's actually a really, really solid. A lot of pace. So it'll be really interesting to see how our wingers, Matoma, or whether it's a Dingra, whether it's Minter, whoever it is out there, obviously Matoma will definitely start, but whoever it is on the right-hand side, it'll be interesting to see, Rutter most likely, won't it? So it'll be interesting to see how Rutter gets up against Robinson. So I think that fullback position could be an interesting one as well. And Baleba being back as well would be great because obviously, was it Lukic now they've got instead of Polinia? So Baleba hopefully can make a big impact on his return. That would be big. I think having Baleba back is going to be huge.
Yeah.
I was going to say, not that I've been waffling enough, but Tete always seems like a football manager regen to me. Like, I don't. He's just like when he came onto the scene, I was like, who's this guy? And I think he scored a screamer once, and that's all I can remember.
No, I remember him being young, like always signing him on FIFA, being like, oh, he's young.
And I've
from Ajax, he's a right back, he must be good.
I've kind of half slagged him off now, so he'll probably score or have a stormer. So
I feel like he's one of those players for Fulham, like we have with Joel Veltman, that will just put a 7 out of 10 every single game. I think Tete's that solid player. And he's been there for quite a while now, I'm pretty sure. Another player that always threatens me, but I don't think he didn't play against Tottenham, I'm pretty sure. Harry Wilson is usually a decent little techie baller. Scored a few goals recently this season against Brentford at home, funny enough. But before we say anything, before I say goodbye, is there anything else we want to touch on?
We probably should talk about our own squad.
Is
we
there?
haven't actually
What else?
Well, about our own team. Baleba's back, isn't he?
Yeah.
Which is huge.
I think we really missed him against Southampton.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things, I didn't get to talk about the Southampton game, but I think one of the huge things we missed was Baleba, and I think that's made it more frustration with the whole Flynn Down things. I think maybe on another day Flynn Down gets sent off, maybe not. You can't look into that again and again and again. I think Matt O'Reilly was very lucky to stay on the pitch, and nobody noticed this.
We were lucky though that they obviously their goal got disallowed.
I don't know. This is something. Did anybody notice the Matt O'Reilly potential sending off? So when he was on a yellow card, he lay on the floor and did the imaginary card, which is a yellow card. He was very lucky to get away with that. So on another day, but I think the most frustrating thing is the whole second yellows, etc. was Baleba got sent off for nothing, and we missed him hugely. And on another day, if Baleba plays, do we win? Quite possibly. I think they don't get a foothold in the game if Baleba doesn't win. So Baleba plays. So I think him coming back into the squad is huge. I hope Veltman's better. Look, I'm not gonna. I don't like slagging off players, but I thought Tariq Lamptey was all over the place at the back.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't. I thought he was very good going forward, but I just don't think his future's at right back. I think his future's further up the pitch. So that could be a little bit of a worry, especially if you've got Adama Traore throwing him around. I think you could probably pick Tariq up and throw him into the stands.
I heard that Tariq was linked with, potentially going to be joining West Ham in January.
Yeah, I've seen a few things around. I mean, I don't think we should be letting anybody join a potential rival in January, flat out. And that includes Evan Ferguson. I think we should keep him. You just mentioned Evan Ferguson possibly going to Fulham. Why on earth would we send him to Fulham? Fulham and team can easily catch us.
I'd love to see him at Celtic or Rangers. That would be fucking class.
I also think some of this Evan Ferguson talk, I think somebody's obviously got it and ran with it a bit. I think there's a little bit of talk about it, but I don't know how deep it is. I think from what I can see, that it's sort of like a 50-50 if he gets opportunity. Because I think we'd be stupid to. What if Welbeck gets injured? But we shouldn't be selling Lamptey in January. That'd be to West Ham, another team who, look, they've had a pretty dire start, don't get me wrong, but they could potentially catch us. So I'd rather we just let the contract run down, because we're not getting anything through. We're not getting anything.
Just quickly, before we wrap up, who do we want to see in... who do we want to see start the game? Quickly.
For me, Ayari and Baleba, I want to see that a centre midfield partnership. I know Matt O'Reilly was decent, to be fair. And maybe, you know what, actually, I'll change my mind. I would do Matt O'Reilly and Baleba, because Matt O'Reilly can play against Fulham again, right? Because it was when he told me on Friday that he was from Fulham. Yeah. That'll be a lovely little goal for him to get against Fulham.
Yeah. And who starts in your front three or front four?
Front four for me.
Same again.
Don't change a good thing. Matoma, Welbeck, Pedro, Jorginho. Nice. Possibly Minter if he's available. We've got a lot of games coming up. Wouldn't be against Minter getting a run out or a start if he's available. But he wasn't. Was he on the bench again? Yeah, he was. He came on. Yeah. So maybe seeing him start, I think that might be good for a little bit of rotation, because I was on the plane coming over and or in the airport. Because I went on holiday recently, I haven't mentioned it. It was funny, Adam was my pilot with his headset round like that, the little speaker across. There we go. Said that one was coming. Flying the plane, Adam was. Jesus. He did the little, this is our month like all the fixtures we're playing in a month, and we've got a pretty stacked month coming up. You know, we've got Fulham, we got Fulham, Palace, West Ham, Brentford, Villa. It's a pretty busy month. Let's try and get as many points as possible, but I think we're going to have to rotate to get through it.
And we've got the squad to do it, luckily.
Yeah, and we've got the FA Cup draw tonight. That's exciting.
Yeah.
So that gives you a clue of when this was filmed.
Give us Dagenham. That'd be great.
I've done Dagenham away, so I'm not that interested. For me, there's only
Portsmouth away?
Done Pompey, but with Brighton. But
where have you not done, Jack?
I'm glad you asked.
East Grinstead Town. He's already
East Grinstead Town. Yeah, I don't think they're still in it. Obviously, I like Dagenham. Dagenham would be a good laugh if we got them away, but I went there in 2011. That'd be a nice little full circle, to be fair. Going back to the Premier League.
Do you know,
and also we got promoted there.
Fun fact, quickly, about Dagenham. Brighton is the last team they played whilst they were in the Football League. Fun fact for you.
That's not true, Naz.
Well,
I don't think.
A Dagenham fan told me that, so...
I don't...
Sorry. TT's had your pants down.
What, the last time to be...
Had my pants down,
I think they've had your pants down there because if their last game was in the Football League, they got relegated in 2014 when I think we were like in the Championship.
Ah, okay, so...
Sorry.
He did say that, though. He did say that in the group chat, so...
excitingly...
I'm calling you out there.
A double link for me was they played Whitehawk in the FA Cup
I remember
a few years ago. There's a lot of links between Dagenham and Brighton, so that'd be fun. But I've never done Swansea, Sunderland. So one of those two would be nice. Swansea or Sunderland.
Yeah.
Mansfield, Blackpool. Did Blackpool lose? I can't remember. Tamworth would be funny. I've done Tamworth before, but I think it'd just be a funny one.
Why have you done Tamworth? I
went with my mate who's a Southport fan, so shout out Southport FC. I think we'll leave it there before I go on this is Jack's podcast about all the grounds that he's hopped.
Maybe we should start a podcast called Ground Hopping with Jack.
If I did a ground hop, do you know what? I've thought about this a few times, and I've just thought a podcast with me would probably be taken down due to me slandering. If I wasn't in control of anything, if I didn't have you or Ben telling me not to say something, I'd slander someone. I'd get on people who are convicted criminals probably and have a bad history, or people who are just the most bizarre individuals you'd ever meet. So Puff Puff, that's a story for another day.
That is, and a great way to end the podcast. But should we do predictions before we finish, Ben?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we are gonna win. We're gonna end our horrendous run against them in the Premier League, and we're gonna finally win again. It's going to be the same score as the last time we beat them at the Cottage, and it'll be 2-1 Brighton.
Wow. I'm going to go 1-1. I feel like the curse isn't going to win, sadly, for us. But I'll take a point at Craven Cottage. 1-1, I'm going to go with.
Yeah, I'm gonna go same as Maz. I'm going to go 1-1. Just thought I'd mix it up a bit and say the prediction I do every single game. But no, I do kind of agree with Maz. I don't think we're going to break our duck, but I think we're still going to do okay. We're still going to do all right.
Yeah.
I'd take a draw now. I think I'd take a draw.
Yeah. Hard place to go on a Tuesday night.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Whatever. Tuesday, Thursday. Who gives a shit?
Tomato.
Yeah. Also,
all ends in Y, don't it?
I was going to say another big away game during the week as well for us. Brighton Under-21s are playing away in the National League Cup at Maidenhead United. So.
I also saw your boy Jack Simmons scored against Arsenal.
Yeah, look.
Last minute equaliser.
Everybody, and I don't think people ridiculed me, but anyway, they were like, who the fuck's this guy? What's this fucking guy talking about? And look, he scored a goal.
Jack's prediction 16.
Right.
16.
Yeah.
This could be the future centre-half for Brighton.
Yeah, and also shout out, just from the last few games, if we're on that subject, Rory McConville made his debut for Northern Ireland, been sitting on a bench a few times, a player who I've been watching for a while. He followed me on Instagram as well.
No, no.
Worrying, actually. I don't know whether he did that by mistake.
Probably because you stalked him. Don't DM'd him so much.
Follow.
Don't waste your time, Rory. But he's a player I've rated for a while, watching for the under-21, so it's really good to see him sitting on a bench. He's a really, really decent player. So, I don't know whether he'll be back on the bench and whether he'll get his debut soon. Hopefully, if we get an easy cup draw, it'd be nice to see him start.
I want to see that Harry Howe on the bench at some point if we get an FA.
Yeah. That'd be a great addition
really cool
as well.
All right, nice one, boys. It's been great talking about Fulham. That was a lie. Anyway, like, subscribe, listen on Spotify because these match previews are on Spotify now.
Yeah,
that's how
we've got. If you appreciate,
cashish.
if you're listening on the old headset, as Adam would be. We've got new covers now. We've been putting new covers and everything. So yeah, hope you appreciate those.
Yeah. Adam flying his plane into the air.
Yeah, don't fly and listen to podcasts, guys.
Yeah. If you're Adam, when you're flying your plane, don't listen to the podcast at the same time. Concentrate. A lot of people on.
Make sure to subscribe, all that good stuff.
That was cool. Recently, some guy sent a picture of him flying over some
that was
glaciers,
sick.
didn't he? And he was on an EasyJet flight.
What, he was listening to the Seagulls Social on an EasyJet flight?
Yeah, the boy.
Who has sent you that?
Shout out. I'll find it quickly. Hold on, we've got to give a shout out.
You retweeted it, didn't you?
Yeah. Cat, what? Oh my God. Sorry.
Has your cat attacked you?
The cat just ran in, sprinted into the room. I thought she had a dead animal.
Hold on. Here we go. It was Zanke, Zanquee, BHAFC, 33,000 feet in the air. Listen to Seagulls Social, Bournemouth review.
That's so sick.
What a guy. Big
That's really sick. That's really sick. I hope you weren't flying my plane, though. Maybe you were.
Just to clarify, I don't think he was the pilot. I think he was a passenger. He
wasn't the pilot. I thought you meant the pilot was doing it.
Oh my God! Listening to.
I swear that guy's on my Twitter. He doesn't seem like, with all respect to Zanquee.
He's 14, isn't he?
Yeah, he seems like he's like a kid, isn't he? Yeah. Why is he flying a plane?
Well, Zanquee, we appreciate the support, mate.
I know EasyJet like to cut costs, but child labour. I didn't think they were doing child labour.
Very good. Jack, I sent you your WhatsApp so you can have a look for yourself.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers, boys.
In a
We'll
bit,
see you post Fulham. Bye-bye.